So glycolysis, as I told you, glycolysis is breakdown of carbohydrate. So can you remember this as carbohydrate? So will you remember this hexagonal carbohydrate as hexagonal plate? Will you imagine the carbohydrate as hexagonal plate for the convenience of your memory, so that you will remember? So it is lysis. You break. Just remember, this is a plate. So you are breaking this plate, crack. So you can just visualize that sound. Crack sound is coming from this, and then after breaking, you can see this very carbohydrate is converted into two parts, this and this. So this is breaking of this glucose or any other monosaccharide. It may be fructose also, galactose also, any monosaccharide. So glucose is the main monosaccharide. Maybe 98% fuel will be glucose. So this is glycolysis, crack, and then in that glycolysis there will be oxidation also. So first there will be breaking down, break and oxidation. So I want you to actually make you aware with a very visual mnemonics type of mnemonics. So you imagine, close your eyes and imagine a hexagonal plate is breaking like crack, noise is coming and zzz. So it's burning like zzz. So this is what glycolysis is, crack and zzz, crack and zzz, crack and zzz. So you can remember glycolysis in a very funny way, crack and zzz. So what happens in glycolysis? Glycolysis will be, there will be breakdown and there will be burning. Oxidation means how do you get energy during cooking your food? What is fire? It is just oxidation of gas that contain carbon, hydrogen with oxygen, and this will release carbon dioxide, and then carbon dioxide H2O that you don't see as a vapor, and then fire. The same principle is being utilized here. As I told you, the energy from any molecule is extracted because of oxidation, because of the enzyme oxidoreductase enzyme. You can see oxidation. Other enzyme will help in breaking this molecule, and oxidizing enzyme oxidoreductase will extract energy from this. So crack and zoom, crack and zoom. The glycolysis is the first step of cellular respiration. So anaerobic cellular respiration is anaerobic respiration, aerobic. It will happen in RBC. Let me focus more about aerobic, because aerobic is whole thing. Anaerobic is part only. So if you understand aerobic, you will understand automatically anaerobic. Just if there is no air, it is anaerobic. Aerobic. So when air is like oxygen is present, what will happen? A fuel can be carbohydrate. Especially, let's talk only about carbohydrate right now. So glucose, let's take the example of glucose. So glucose will actually oxidize and will ultimately convert into CO2. A glucose will convert into 6CO2, and then there will be about 6 H2O, and there will be ATPs. So we will talk about how many ATP is produced from this. About 35 ATP. Okay, so this is the ATP and is produced as you have seen in fuel. So carbon, hydrogen is gasoline. The gas, this liquid petroleum LPG gas will react with oxygen. It will produce H2O, CO2, and then fire. Here, in place of fire, ATP is being produced, because our body is very stepwise method. What happens? Reaction in our body happens the very similar reaction, but it happens in very stepwise and very controlled way, and that is why we don't burn. Fire is not produced. In place of fire, ATP is produced, which is a very energy currency, easily manageable energy currencies. If fire produced in our body, we would not survive. So this is the method. The similar type of reaction is happening inside our body. This reaction is called cellular respiration. What is respiration? Taking of oxygen. So cell is taking oxygen for doing this purpose, and this whole function is called cellular respiration. So this glycolysis is the first step in cellular respiration. There are 3 steps in cellular respiration. First step is glycolysis. This is the cellular respiration, means glucose oxidation. So this is the first step. Glycolysis is the first step. Second step is Krebs cycle. Third step is electron transfer. So let's talk about this glycolysis. You can see this is glucose. So glucose is just first broken down into this. Break and then burn. Zoo. Break, zoo. Break and burn. Break and burn. So this step, this is stage 1. First is breaking step, second is oxidation step. So glucose will again convert into, you can see here also glucose, forget about this phosphate for the time, forget about. I am simplifying this whole pathway. So glucose will convert into fructose. And then this fructose will break down into 2 compounds. One is, this is hexose sugar. This is hexose sugar. This is also hexose sugar. Now this will, because this is 6 carbon, like this both are 6 carbon. So as I told you, this will break, crack. So now this is the step where it will crack into this 2. This one is glyceraldehyde, GLD. I will write glyceraldehyde. Here you can see dihydroxyacetone phosphate. I will write it TAP, dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So what is aldehyde? I told you in the beginning only, aldehyde will have O group in the beginning and H here. And acetone will have in between, both carbon. So this is acetone and this is aldehyde. As a matter of fact, this acetone actually will not metabolize to pyruvate. It actually convert into this. And this is a reversible reaction. It is a reversible reaction. If fat has to produce, this will convert into this. If you eat too much of glucose, if fat has to produce, so from this, fat will be produced. And this also will be utilized for fat. For actually triglyceride will produce, triglycerol will be produced from this triglycerol. If after this glycolysis, if body, this glycolysis supplies enough energy, so this will produce fat. Now for glycolysis, we are talking about glycolysis, so it will, this dihydroxyacetone phosphate will convert into this. So this is the phosphate. So now what will happen, because when it converts into, it will become 2. Okay, it will become 2. So glyceraldehyde, you can see glyceraldehyde, GLD, aldehyde, glyceraldehyde, aldehyde. This is aldehyde. This is aldehyde. Okay, this is aldehyde. Now this is aldehyde. I will not write, I will write R group here. That will represent next 2 carbon, because it is 3 carbon, this and this carbon will be represented by R. So this aldehyde will now oxidize and it will convert into acid, glyceric acid. Aldehyde will convert into acid. Aldehyde will convert into acid. You can see. Can you see glyceraldehyde? Here, can you see glycerate? So glycerate and glyceric acid is also called as glycerate. So first break down into this and then oxidation. So oxidation, aldehyde, when it is oxidized, it will form a glyceric acid. So acid will have this structure, and here in place of H, there will be OH. You can see addition of oxygen here. So this is glyceric acid. So aldehyde will convert into acid, acid will convert into keto acid. So this is pyruvate, enol, pyruvate and pyruvate. These are keto acid. Keto acid. So this is the journey of molecule. You can see glucose, fructose will break down into 2, break and then oxidation into acid, and acid will convert into keto acid. This is glucose converts into fructose converts into fructose. So this is glucose to fructose. Now fructose will break into glyceraldehyde and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So this is aldehyde, again 3 acid, glycerate. So 3 acid, 3 steps, and this is 2 pyruvate, 2 step, 3 to 5 step. And here you see this is 1 step, this is 6, this is 7 step, 8, 9, 10 steps. So glycolysis is made up of how many steps?
10 steps.
10 steps. First half is 5 and next half is 5. So this first half, you can see the first reaction you will see is kinase reaction, and this is a rate limiting step. The rate limiting step is always irreversible step. So you can see this is first step. Kinase. What does kinase mean? Adding phosphate to glucose with the help of ATP. This is kinase. Which kinase? There are two types of kinase. We will talk about this kinase. Hexokinase, elsewhere glucokinase in the liver. Hexokinase, glucokinase converts glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. Now glucose 6-phosphate and fructose 6-phosphate, they are isomer. That is why isomerase enzyme will convert glucose 6-phosphate into fructose 6-phosphate. They are reversible reaction. Isomerase enzyme will. Now this is transferase, kinase is transferred. Again, third reaction is also done by kinase, phosphofructokinase. And I have written one. There is significance of this one. We will talk about later about this one. So fructose 6-phosphate will be converted into fructose 1,1. You can read 1 PFK1 will convert fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-bisphosphate. Bis means 2. Bis means 2, tris means 3, like that. So fructose 6-phosphate will convert into fructose 6,1,6-bisphosphate. So glucose is converted into glucose. Here glucose 6-fructose is converting into fructose with addition of 1 glucose, 1,6-bisphosphate. Now this will break down. Fourth reaction is aldolase. Aldolase is placed into which group of enzyme classification? Lyase. That is why it breaks this molecule into two. Hexagonal molecule, it breaks into this and this. Break. Now after break, you can see, so this will also convert into this. There will be two. So glyceraldehyde will convert into glyceric acid. Glyceraldehyde will convert into glyceric acid. This is the reaction. You can see this is also kinase reaction. You can see here. This is the reaction. You can see here is the generation of NADH, and the reaction is done by dehydrogenase enzyme, oxidoreductase enzyme, the enzyme of group number 1. So glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, the substrate plus function. So glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase will actually extract electron from this molecule, and it will change this molecule into acid. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converting into 1,3-bisphosphate. You can see addition of inorganic phosphate, not ATP. Addition of inorganic phosphate here. 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, and at the same place removal of this NADH, production of NADH. So this is the only oxidation step in the whole glycolysis, and this actually is made from vitamin B3, niacin. Now after this 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate will convert into 3-phosphoglycerate by producing ATP, because this is this two molecule, that is why there will be production of 2 ATP from this step, and this is done by because there is production of ATP, because phosphate is being transferred to ADP. That is why this is also kinase, phosphoglycerate kinase. This step is 3-phosphoglycerate to 2. That is why mutase. This is a type of isomerase, transferring phosphate from carbon 3 to carbon 2, 2-phosphoglycerate. Now this 2-phosphoglycerate, from this water will be released, and there will be formation of double bond, and that is why this is called hydrolyze. Formation of double bond by release of water, or breaking of double bond by utilization of water, hydrolyze. So you can see these are reversible reaction. These are reversible. So you can also see the opposite reaction possible here, but I am taking this reaction. There are only 3 irreversible steps. These are rate limiting steps. The last step is pyruvate kinase, conversion of phosphoenol pyruvate to pyruvate. Here also you will see when there is kinase, there will be either utilization of ATP or production of ATP. Here you will see production of 2 ATP. So you can see first this breaking reaction is also, this pathway is called preparatory phase, and this second phase is called payoff phase. You know, when broiler is grown, what does this people do? When broiler is grown, make the chicken to eat. So this is preparatory phase for chicken. Then after the chicken eats and chicken grows enough, so there will be slaughter of chicken. and this is payoff. The same thing you can see here also. You can use this analogy. So here you can see feeding with ATP, feeding of it with ATP, and then in payoff phase, production of ATP. Preparatory phase and payoff phase. And the whole glycolysis, if you see whole glycolysis, there will be 4 kinases, 10 steps. 10 steps. In that 10 steps, you will easily remember 4 steps, 4 enzymes. 4 enzymes are kinases. 4 kinases. 3 kinases are rate limiting steps. 1 hexokinase is HK, GK is rate limiting step, PFK is rate limiting step, PFK 1 is rate limiting step, and then PK is rate limiting step. These 3 are rate limiting steps. You can see. And here is the 4th kinase, PGK, phosphate. This is a reversible step. This is not rate limiting, but production of ATP is happening here. So wherever you have seen utilization of energy and production of energy, you can see kinases coming. So production of energy is happening at kinase, 2 kinases. One is phosphofructokinase and other is pyruvate kinase. Utilization of energy is happening where? These 2 rate limiting enzyme, hexokinase and phosphofructokinase. So that is why if you remember 4 kinases, name of 4 kinases, you will remember the important steps. That rate limiting step also, and you will also remember the step where ATP production happens in glycolysis. So these are 4 kinases. 4 kinases are among these 4 kinases. You will see 3 are rate limiting steps, and then 1 is not rate limiting, it is reversible, but you will see consumption of ATP and production of ATP. You already know what does kinase do. Kinase either consume ATP or produce ATP. So you easily understand the steps. So this is the steps. This is the 7th steps and 10th steps. You will see the production of ATP. Now this is the 6th step. This is the 5. This is the first step of this payoff phase, where you see the production of NADH. So this is the only oxidoreductase step, 6th step. So this is how you already remember 5 main steps. So this 5 main steps is very important. You need to remember this 5 steps: 4 kinase step and 1 oxidoreductase. 4 plus 1. And that's the most important steps you need to remember. This is payoff phase. Why? Because ATP is produced. This type of ATP production is called substrate level phosphorylation. ATP production is phosphorylation, substrate level phosphorylation. This ATP production is substrate level phosphorylation. See, enolase is also 9th step. So we will study the inhibitor of enolase. So you can remember this also. Enolase is require water. It converts glycerol to phosphoenol 5. So this is the energetics. You need to memorize this energetics. So this is the energetics you will see. Have you seen? So what is the total production of ATP? Total production of ATP is 7. We will talk about this 5. Why 5? I'll give you explanation. So where is the consumption of ATP? Do you see the 2 places where consumption happens? Yes, hexokinase or glucokinase. Always they go wherever ATP comes, utilization and production, it is kinase. So it is hexokinase, 1 ATP utilization. Then where is the next ATP utilization? 3rd step. What is that step? PFK, phosphofructokinase. Phosphofructokinase 1. There will be consumption of 1 ATP. So can we write minus here? So minus. Where is the production of ATP? Again, 2 kinase step will be there. What is the next kinase? Phosphoglycerate kinase. How many ATP produced? 2 ATP. And then last step, PGK and then PK. In short name, you can remember short name. GK, HK, PFK, PGK, PK. PK also, how many ATP? How many NADH produced? 2 NADH. Which step? Yes, glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate or 3 phosphate glyceraldehyde. Anything you can say here. So 2 NADPH is equal to 1 NADPH is 1 NADH is equal to 2.5 ATP. 2.5 ATP. 2 NADH is equal to 5 ATP. So this 2 NADH in aerobic condition, it is going to convert into 5 ATP. So how many? 5, 2, 2. How many is this? 9 minus 2. So net, how many production of ATP is there? In aerobic glycolysis? 7. Can you see it? 7.